When Nathan Harper received a letter demanding he remove his rare 1969 Ducati Scrambler from his driveway, he thought it was a sick joke. Someone had the nerve to call his $500,000 collector's bike trash? But HOA President Karen Wells wasn't just a rule-obsessed bureaucrat. She was a control freak who thrived on dominating every corner of the upscale gated community. What she didn't know was that Nathan wasn't just a motorcycle enthusiast. He was the CEO of Ducati North America, and her petty power trip was about to ignite a firestorm that would cost her everything. Buckle up, because Karen's obsession with control led to the most jaw-dropping mistake of her life, sparking a saga the internet now calls the Ducati Rebellion. Nathan Harper wasn't one for suburban drama. He lived in a pristine, high-end neighborhood where every lawn was manicured to perfection and every mailbox matched the HOA's approved shade of taupe. But after years of navigating corporate boardrooms, he'd learned to keep his head down, pay his dues, and avoid the neighborhood's pointless politics. All he asked for was peace to enjoy his pride and joy, a 1969 Ducati Scrambler, a gleaming masterpiece of history with a golden tank that shone like a beacon in his driveway. That peace was shattered when he found the letter. Printed on the HOA's self-important letterhead, it read like a decree from a petty dictator. Mr. Harper, your motorcycle violates community aesthetic standards. Per Section 14b, remove it from public view within 72 hours or face further action. Nathan read it again, his blood boiling. Unsightly? His Ducati was a work of art, one of the last of its kind, worth more than most homes in the neighborhood. The audacity of calling it junk was laughable, until it wasn't. This wasn't a prank, it was a declaration of war. Furious, Nathan stormed into the next HOA meeting, letter in hand, ready to confront the board. At the head of the table sat Karen Wells, the HOA president, dressed like she was auditioning for a reality show. Her smug demeanor and rehearsed politeness screamed control. The other board members, a group of self-appointed suburban overlords, fidgeted as Nathan slapped the letter down. "Explain this nonsense," he demanded. Karen barely glanced up, flipping through papers as if he were an inconvenience. "Mr. Harper, your motorcycle doesn't meet community standards. We maintain an image here." "An image that bans motorcycles?" Nathan shot back, his voice sharp. Karen's lips pursed, her tone dripping with condescension. "We're protecting property values. I'm sure you understand." Nathan saw through her act. This wasn't about aesthetics, it was about power. Karen thrived on obedience, and Nathan's defiance was a direct challenge. He could have moved the bike to his garage, avoided the fight. But Nathan wasn't wired that way. Leaning forward, he locked eyes with her. "No." The word hit like a thunderclap. Karen's smile faltered, but she recovered, her voice icy. "Reconsider, Mr. Harper. If the motorcycle isn't removed, we'll take action." "Try it," Nathan said, and walked out. The room fell silent, the tension thick enough to choke on. Karen had no idea she just poked a sleeping lion. The next morning, Nathan woke to a sound that didn't belong, a metallic crunch, like something heavy being dragged. His gut screamed trouble. He bolted to the window, heart pounding. The driveway was empty. His Ducati was gone. For a moment, his mind reeled. Stolen? No. There were no tire marks, no broken locks. Then it hit him, towed. Only one group had the gall to pull this off, the HOA. Rage surged through him, hot and unrelenting. He grabbed his keys, called the local impound lot, and demanded answers. "Yeah, a Ducati Scrambler came in a few hours ago," the bored voice on the phone confirmed. "Gold tank." "Is it intact?" Nathan growled. A pause. Depends on what you mean by intact." Nathan floored it to the lot, his truck tearing through the streets. The impound was a dump, rusted cars, broken gates, and a manager who couldn't care less. Then Nathan saw it. His Ducati lay on its side, a mangled wreck. The golden tank was crushed, chrome gouged, one handlebar snapped off, and the front wheel twisted beyond repair. Years of restoration, a piece of history, reduced to scrap. The manager shrugged. That's how it came in. HOA called it abandoned. Abandoned? On his property? Nathan's vision blurred with fury. He could hear Karen's smug voice, her fake smile as she orchestrated this. She thought she'd won. She was dead wrong. This wasn't just a bike, it was a $500,000 relic, and Nathan wasn't just a homeowner. He was a CEO with an army of lawyers and a score to settle. At the next HOA meeting, Nathan played it cool, walking in like nothing had happened. Karen sat at the head of the table, her confidence unshaken. She knew what she'd done, and she reveled in it. I hope you understand now, Mr. Harper, she said, her voice syrupy with false politeness. This is a community, not a junkyard. Nathan smiled cold and sharp. I understand perfectly. Karen's smirk wavered, but she pressed on, oblivious to the storm coming. Nathan didn't argue. He didn't need to. He'd already made the call. Ducati's legal team, sharks who thrived on corporate warfare, had drafted a lawsuit within hours. The claim, $1.2 million for theft, property damage, and punitive fees. The evidence was airtight: emails, HOA letters, Karen's condescending messages. The HOA had no legal grounds to tow the bike, no right to call it abandoned. They'd sent it to a third-rate lot where it was destroyed, and Nathan was going to make them pay. 2 weeks later, the lawsuit landed like a bomb. The HOA board received a legal notice, its words cutting like a blade. Karen's composure cracked at the emergency meeting, her nails digging into the documents as she shrieked. This is insane! For the first time, she wasn't the one issuing threats, she was the target. Nathan sat back, arms crossed, watching her unravel. Seems fair to me, he said, his voice laced with amusement. My junk was worth more than your house. Karen's $900,000 home was no match for the $1.2 million claim. The HOA's finances, already a mess of mismanaged funds and shady budgets, couldn't cover it. Board members quit overnight, abandoning ship as the lawsuit loomed. Residents, long bullied by Karen's fines and rules, turned on her. They dug up years of corruption, missing funds, illegal fines, misused dues. The HOA's reign of terror collapsed, and Karen stood alone, her empire in ruins. In court, it was a slaughter. Nathan's lawyers laid out the case with surgical precision: the illegal tow, the destruction of a $500,000 bike, Karen's paper trail of arrogance. The judge's expression hardened at the bike's valuation. HOA rules meant nothing here. What mattered was theft and negligence. Karen's lawyer floundered, citing community standards, but the judge shut him down. The ruling was brutal. The HOA was liable for the full $1.2 million. With no funds, they had one option: to liquidate Karen's house. The neighborhood erupted. Residents who'd suffered under Karen's iron fist celebrated like it was Independence Day. Someone popped champagne. Others watched movers haul out Karen's furniture. Nathan didn't just win, he became a legend, dubbed the HOA's Slayer. But he wasn't done. When Karen's foreclosed home hit the market, Nathan bought it, not to live in, but to rub salt in the wound. He turned it into the Harper Ducati Heritage Museum, a shrine to rebellion. Contractors gutted the beige interior, installing glass panels and sleek lighting. At the center, on a raised platform, sat the restored 1969 Ducati Scrambler, its golden tank gleaming brighter than ever, now worth triple its original value thanks to the lawsuit's notoriety. The museum's grand opening was a spectacle. Bikers from across the country roared in, their engines shaking the streets. Enthusiasts, reporters, and even Ducati execs from Italy came to see the bike that toppled an HOA. The driveway, once the site of Karen's crime, was packed with motorcycles. Nathan stood at the entrance, coffee in hand, watching the crowd. The story had gone viral: Reddit posts, YouTube videos, articles calling it the Ducati Rebellion. It wasn't just about a bike. It was a warning to every power-hungry HOA tyrant. Karen vanished, her name a punchline. Some say she fled to a retirement community, others that she wakes to the phantom roar of a Ducati. Nathan? He rides his scrambler every morning, parking it in his driveway with a custom plate, HOA KO. The HOA is dead, the neighborhood is free, and Nathan's victory is etched in history. The Ducati Rebellion didn't just end with Nathan's win, it changed the game. Ducati sales soared as the brand became a symbol of defiance. HOA reform groups used the case to push new laws, curbing HOA powers nationwide. Nathan's story trended for weeks, sparking debates. Was his revenge justified, or did he go too far? Did Karen deserve her downfall, or was she just enforcing rules? The saga raises questions about power, justice, and standing your ground. What do you think? Was Nathan's vengeance a masterstroke or an overreach? Should Karen have backed down, or was she right to fight for her standards? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on this epic clash. Share this story if it fired you up, and let's keep the conversation roaring.